I'm staring at a photo on my wife's phone, and I don't understand what I'm looking at. It's me, outside a coffee shop on 7th Street. I'm laughing. There's a woman next to me, blonde, mid-30s, holding a to-go cup. I remember this day. It was a Tuesday. I was grabbing coffee before a site meeting. She asked me if the vanilla latte was any good. I said yes. We laughed about something. I don't even remember what. The whole interaction was maybe 90 seconds. Simone's hand is shaking as she holds the phone. Just tell me her name, she says. I don't know her name. Derek. Simone. I'm serious. I don't know who that is. She pulls the phone back. Won't look at me. We're sitting at the kitchen table. It's almost midnight. She came home late again. 3rd time this week. I thought maybe we'd finally talk about whatever's been happening between us for the last 3 months. The coldness, the distance, the way she flinches when I touch her shoulder. Instead, she shows me this. That's not the only one, she says quietly. She swipes. Another photo. Me at the grocery store. Same woman. 2 aisles over. Another swipe. Me outside the gym. Same woman, getting into a car across the street. Simone. I don't stop lying. Her voice cracks. She stands up, leaves the room. I hear our bedroom door close. Not slam, just close. Like she's too tired to even be angry anymore. I sit there, staring at the empty chair across from me. I have no idea what's happening. But I'm starting to realize someone wants me to look guilty. And I'm starting to realize who. I've been trying to pinpoint when things changed. It wasn't overnight. Simone didn't wake up one morning and decide to hate me. It was gradual, like watching someone slowly turn down the volume on a conversation until you realize you're talking to silence. 3 months ago, we had dinner at her parents' house. Standard Sunday thing. Lorraine cooked pot roast. Preston talked about the Gaskin Heritage Trust's latest property acquisition. Simone and I sat there like we always did. Everything seemed fine. Except, I remember Lorraine pulling Simone into the kitchen while Preston and I were watching the game. They were in there for maybe 20 minutes. When Simone came back out, her face looked different, tighter. She didn't sit next to me on the couch. She sat in the chair across the room. I asked her about it on the drive home. What'd your mom want to talk about? Just wedding stuff for Cousin Tracy. For 20 minutes, she's particular, Derek. You know how she is. That was the last normal conversation we had. After that, it was like living with a stranger. Simone started working late. Not every night, but enough that I noticed. She stopped asking about my day. Stopped laughing at my jokes. Even the bad ones she used to roll her eyes at. In bed, she'd turn away from me, pull the blanket up to her chin like she was building a wall. I thought maybe it was work stress. She'd been taking on more responsibility with the trust, property inspections, vendor contracts, financial reviews. Lorraine had been training her to eventually take over full management. But then I checked our phone bill 2 weeks ago. Simone and Lorraine were talking 15, sometimes 20 times a day. Texts constantly. Calls that lasted an hour, sometimes more. I'd come home and hear Simone on the phone in our bedroom, voice low. The second I walked in, she'd say, "I have to go," and hang up. I tried asking her about it. Your mom calls a lot. She's helping me with trust stuff. Every day? It's complicated, Derek. There's a lot to manage. She said it like I wouldn't understand. Like I wasn't co-trustee. Like her grandfather hadn't specifically added me to the trust 4 years ago because he trusted me to help protect what he'd built. I let it go. I shouldn't have. Last week, I tried to initiate something. Just a kiss in the kitchen while she was making coffee. She went stiff, didn't pull away exactly, but didn't lean in either. When I stepped back, she looked at me like I'd done something wrong. What? I asked. Nothing. She grabbed her mug and walked out. That night, I asked her directly, Simone, what's going on? Talk to me. She stared at her laptop screen, didn't even look up. I'm fine. You're not fine. You won't even look at me. I'm just tired, Derek. For 3 months? Finally, she looked at me. Her eyes were hard. Maybe if you spent less time worrying about me and more time being honest, we wouldn't be here. I had no idea what that meant. I still don't. But now, sitting at this kitchen table at midnight, staring at photos of me with a woman I don't know, I'm starting to piece it together. Someone convinced my wife I'm a liar, and that someone has been in her ear every single day for 3 months. The photos start showing up everywhere. 2 days after the kitchen table conversation, I find a printed picture on the bathroom counter. Me and a blonde woman outside a park. I'm in my running gear. She's stretching near a bench. The angle makes it look like we're together. I remember that morning. I went for a run. I stopped to tie my shoe. There was a woman nearby. I didn't speak to her. But in the photo, it looks intentional. I bring it to Simone. Where did you get this? She's folding laundry, won't turn around. Does it matter? Yes. Someone's following me, Simone. That's the same woman. 4 different places. I don't know her. Simone finally turns around. Her eyes are red. Do you think I'm stupid? I think someone's setting me up. Right. Someone hired a woman to follow you around and accidentally be in your vicinity. That makes sense. Who's giving you these photos? I ask. She folds another shirt. Someone who actually cares about me. Lorraine. Simone, your mom is feeding you. My mother is the only person who's been honest with me. She told me something was off months ago. I didn't believe her. I defended you. I leave the room before I say something I'll regret. Over the next week, I start paying attention. I see her on a Thursday. The blonde woman. She's at the grocery store 3 aisles over. I'm grabbing pasta sauce. When I glance at her, she immediately looks away, moves too quickly. Like she wasn't expecting me to notice. 2 days later, I'm leaving the gym. I see her again, getting into a silver Honda across the street. She pulls out right after I do. The next time is at a coffee shop near my office. She's sitting in the corner with a laptop. She sees me, I see her see me. I walk straight to her table. I've seen you around a lot. Coffee shop on 7th, grocery store, outside my gym. Now here. Her face goes pale. I don't know what you're talking about. Who's paying you? She closes her laptop, stands up fast. You need to leave me alone. She walks out. I stand there while the barista stares at me like I'm harassing random women. But I'm not crazy. Someone hired her. And I think I know why. That night, I check my email. There's a message from the Gaskin Heritage Trust accountant, Edgar Pruitt. Subject line, Q1 review. Trustees meeting scheduled. I open it. Derek, quarterly review meeting scheduled for next Wednesday, 10 a.m. Please confirm attendance. Also, Mrs. Gaskin has requested an external audit of trust financials for the past 18 months. Audit firm will begin preliminary work next week. Let me know if you have questions. Edgar. I read it twice. Lorraine requested an audit? I'm co-trustee. I should have been consulted before any audit was scheduled. That's standard procedure. Simone's grandfather set it up that way specifically. No major decisions without both trustees agreeing. I log into the trust's financial portal. I haven't checked it in a while. Maybe 3 months. Simone and Lorraine have been handling day-to-day operations. I mostly sign off on big decisions, property acquisitions, contractor payments. Over a certain threshold, I pull up the transaction history. Withdrawals, dozens of them. $8,000 to Garrison Legal Services, $15,000 to Summit Property Maintenance, $22,000 to Apex Consulting Group, $30,000 to Redline Construction Solutions. I don't recognize half these vendors. I click into the authorization logs. Each withdrawal has a digital signature attached, mine. But I didn't approve these. I open my email archive, search for any correspondence about these payments. Nothing. No requests for approval. No invoices sent to me for review. No follow-up confirmations. I check my text messages with Simone. Nothing there either. I go back to the portal and start adding up the withdrawals I don't recognize. $45,000? $68,000. $120,000. I keep scrolling. $183,000. $210,000. $240,000. Gone over 18 months. My stomach drops. I pull up one of the larger transactions. $30,000 to Garrison Legal Services from 4 months ago. I click the attached authorization document. It's a standard payment approval form. My signature is at the bottom, dated and notarized. Except I never signed this. I zoom in on the signature. It looks like mine. Same loops, same slant. But something's off. The pressure's different. The D in Derek has a tail that's slightly too long. It's close. Close enough that no one would question it unless they were looking. But it's not mine. I check 3 more authorizations. Same thing. Signatures that look like mine but aren't. Someone's been forging my name for over a year. I sit back, staring at the screen. Lorraine handles the books. Lorraine processes the payments. Lorraine has full access to the trust accounts and the authorization system. And Lorraine just requested an external audit. I grab my phone, call Edgar. He picks up on the 3rd ring. Derek, hey? You get my email? Yeah. Quick question. Did you request this audit, or did Lorraine? There's a pause. Mrs. Gaskin requested it. Said she wanted to make sure everything was clean and above board before Simone takes over more responsibility. Honestly, I thought it was a good idea. Why? Just wondering. When does the audit actually start? Audit team from Brenner & Associates begins preliminary review next Monday. They'll want access to all records, transaction logs, vendor contracts. Full audit should wrap in about 30 days, give or take. 30 days? And they'll be looking at everything? All withdrawals, all authorizations, everything. It's comprehensive. They'll verify signatures, cross-check invoices, contact vendors. Standard stuff. My throat goes dry. Got it. Thanks, Edgar. No problem. See you Wednesday. I hang up. If the audit finds discrepancies, forged signatures, missing documentation, vendors that don't exist, they're going to ask questions. And the first person they're going to look at is me, because my name is on every authorization. Even if I prove the signatures are forged, it'll take time. Legal costs, investigations. And in the meantime, I'm the co-trustee who either stole $250,000 or was negligent enough to let someone else do it under my authority. Either way, I'm liable. That's why Lorraine's been poisoning Simone against me. That's why she hired someone to make me look like a cheater. She needs me out of the picture, divorced, discredited, removed from the trust before the audit uncovers what she's been doing. She's not just stealing from her own family. She's setting me up to take the fall. I close the laptop. My hands are shaking. I need proof. Real proof. Not just suspicions and forged signatures I can't definitively prove are forged without an expert. I need to know who the woman is. Who hired her? How much she was paid? I need a paper trail. And I need it before that audit starts in 7 days. I hire a private investigator the next morning. His name's Malcolm. Former cop, runs a small firm out of a strip mall office. I show him the photos Simone's been getting. Tell him about the blonde woman following me. I need to know who she is. Who's paying her? Malcolm nods, takes notes. Give me 3 days. He calls me back in 2. Her name's Tamra Ridley. She's an actress, or trying to be. Does extra work, some commercials. I followed her yesterday. She met with an older woman at a Panera on Route 9. They sat for 40 minutes. The older woman handed her an envelope. Cash, looked like. Can you describe the older woman? 5'6", gray hair, probably early 60s. Drove a white Lexus SUV. Lorraine. I got photos, Malcolm says. Timestamps. 2 meetings in the past week. Same setup both times. Cash exchange. Panera parking lot. He emails me everything. I look at the photos. Lorraine handing Tamra an envelope. Tamra counting bills in her car. Clear, undeniable. I need to talk to her, I say. The actress? Yeah. Malcolm gives me Tamra's address. I wait outside her apartment the next evening. When she comes out, I approach carefully. Tamra. She freezes. I'm not here to scare you. I just need 5 minutes. I don't know you. Yes, you do. You've been following me for months. Lorraine Gaskin's been paying you. Her face goes white. I pull out my phone, show her the photos Malcolm took. I have proof. Timestamps, cash payments. I'm not going to the police. Not yet. But I need to know what she told you. What she paid you to do. Tamra looks around, panicked. I can't. She's setting me up for something bigger than a fake affair. If you help me, I'll make sure you're protected. If you don't, you're going to be part of a fraud investigation in 3 weeks. She stares at me. Then she breaks. She paid me $8,000 over 4 months. She said you were a cheater, that her daughter needed proof for a divorce. She told me where you'd be, when to show up. Told me to just be there. Be friendly if you talk to me. Let pictures happen. Did she say why she needed the divorce to happen? Tamra shakes her head. She just kept saying her daughter deserved better. That you were hiding something. I pull out my phone. I need you to say that again. On recording. She hesitates. Then she nods. I meet with a lawyer the next morning. Her name's Claudia Brennan. She specializes in financial fraud and family law. I spread everything across her desk. Tamra's recorded confession. The forged signatures. The transaction logs, Malcolm's photos of Lorraine paying Tamra. Claudia listens to the recording twice. Then she pulls up the trust documents on her laptop. Cross-references the authorization forms I printed. These signatures aren't even good forgeries, she says. A handwriting expert will catch this in 10 minutes. That's what I thought. But here's your problem. She leans back. You're still listed as co-trustee. When this audit finalizes, they're going to find $250,000 missing with your name on every authorization. Even if you prove forgery, you're going to spend the next 2 years in depositions and legal battles proving you didn't know. Can I remove myself from the trust? Not fast enough. Any trustee removal requires a 30-day notice period and board approval. The audit wraps in less than 30 days. My chest tightens. So what do? Claudia taps her pen on the desk. You go to the auditor. Now. Before they start the review. You bring everything. The forgeries, the confession, the photos. You cooperate fully. You become a witness, not a suspect. Will that protect me? If you're proactive, yes. Auditors appreciate cooperation. It shows good faith. And if you can prove someone else had motive and means, they'll shift focus to them. Lorraine. Exactly. Claudia opens her calendar. The audit starts Monday. That gives us 4 days to get your handwriting analyzed by an expert. Compile a full evidence package and schedule a meeting with the lead auditor. What happens to Lorraine? If the auditor confirms fraud, they'll report it. Depending on the amount and the evidence, she's looking at criminal charges, embezzlement, forgery, fraud, restitution at minimum, possibly jail time. I think about Simone, about what this will do to her. My wife doesn't know yet. She will. Once the auditor gets involved, the family's going to find out. She'll think I'm attacking her mother. Claudia closes her laptop. Derek. This woman framed you for an affair. Stole $250,000 and forged your signature dozens of times. If you don't act now, you're going to prison for fraud you didn't commit. Your wife can be mad at you later. Right now, you need to protect yourself. She's right. I nod. Set up the meeting. Claudia gets me an appointment with the auditor for Friday morning. She brings a handwriting expert who analyzes 5 of the forged authorizations in 20 minutes. His report is conclusive. The signatures are forgeries. The auditor, a middle-aged woman named Greta Park, listens to Tamra's confession, reviews the evidence, takes notes. Mr. Calloway, I appreciate you coming forward. This changes the scope of our review. Am I clear? As a suspect? Yes. As a cooperating witness? You'll need to remain available for questioning. But you're not our focus. I feel the weight lift off my chest for the first time in weeks. What happens now? Greta closes her folder. We proceed with the audit. and we'll be looking very closely at Mrs. Gaskin's activities. I don't tell Simone. I don't tell anyone. I just wait. The audit begins the following Monday. Greta's team requests access to every file, every transaction log, every vendor contract. Edgar sends out a meeting invitation to all trustees. Me, Simone, Lorraine, and Preston. The meeting is scheduled for Thursday at 10 a.m. At the trust's accountant office, Lorraine tries to reschedule twice. Edgar tells her it's mandatory. Thursday morning, I arrive early. Claudia's with me. She's there as my attorney, though I haven't told anyone why I'd need one. Simone shows up at 9:55. She won't look at me. She sits on the opposite side of the conference table. Lorraine arrives 5 minutes late. Preston's with her. He nods at me. Lorraine doesn't acknowledge I exist. Edgar starts the meeting. Thanks for coming, everyone. As you know, we've been conducting an external audit of the Gaskin Heritage Trust financials. Greta Park from Brenner & Associates is here to present preliminary findings. Greta opens her laptop, connects it to the projector. A spreadsheet appears on the wall. Over the past 18 months, the trust has processed approximately $240,000 in unauthorized withdrawals. Simone's head snaps up. Payments made to vendors that either don't exist or have no corresponding invoices on file. Each withdrawal was authorized with a digital signature from Mr. Calloway. Lorraine's face is stone. Simone looks at me. There's something in her eyes. Betrayal. Confusion. Maybe both. However, Greta continues, Mr. Calloway contacted our office last week. He provided full cooperation and evidence that these signatures were forged. She clicks to the next slide. Side-by-side images of my real signature and the forged ones. The differences are subtle but clear under analysis. Handwriting analysis confirms forgery. We also have evidence that Mr. Calloway was not involved in these transactions. Lorraine shifts in her chair. Who was involved? Preston asks. Greta looks directly at Lorraine. Our analysis shows that Mrs. Lorraine Gaskin processed every one of these withdrawals. She had sole access to the authorization system during the time periods in question. The funds were transferred to accounts linked to her personal banking information. The room goes silent. Simone stares at her mother. Mom? Lorraine's voice is tight. This is ridiculous. Derek had access too. He's trying to... Mr. Calloway also provided this. Greta plays Tamra's confession on her laptop. Tamra's voice fills the room. Lorraine Gaskin paid me $8,000 over 4 months. She told me to follow her son-in-law, to be in places where he'd be, to let pictures happen. She said her daughter needed proof for a divorce. Simone's face drains of color. Lorraine stands up. I need to leave. Sit down, Preston says. His voice is ice. Lorraine sits. Greta closes her laptop. We'll be filing a formal report with the authorities. Fraud charges are likely. Mrs. Gaskin, you'll need to speak with your attorney. Preston turns to Lorraine. You stole from your own family. I was trying to protect. You framed him. Preston points at me. You paid someone to destroy his marriage so he wouldn't be here when this came out. Lorraine's hands are shaking. Simone stands up, walks out of the room. I follow her. I find Simone in the hallway, leaning against the wall. Her hands are covering her face. Simone. She doesn't move. I'm sorry you had to find out this way. She drops her hands. Her eyes are red. You knew before today. I found out 2 weeks ago. I needed proof before 2 weeks. She laughs, but it sounds broken. You let me think you were cheating for 3 months. You let me believe. I tried to tell you, you wouldn't listen. Because my mother, her voice cracks. My mother told me you were lying. She showed me pictures. She said, she stops, presses her palms against her eyes. Behind us, I hear raised voices from the conference room. Preston's voice cuts through. You're on your own, Lorraine. A door slams. Lorraine comes out into the hallway. Her face is pale, mascara smudged. When she sees Simone, she rushes toward her. Simone, sweetheart, listen to me. Don't. Lorraine grabs Simone's arm. He's turning everyone against me. He went to the auditor behind our backs. He manipulated that girl into lying. You paid her. Simone pulls her arm away. I heard the recording, Mom. You paid someone to follow my husband because I knew he was hiding something. I was protecting you. From what? From him. From... Lorraine's voice is desperate now. From losing everything when he left you. He wasn't leaving me. You made me think he was. Preston appears in the doorway behind Lorraine. Edgar's with him, holding a folder. Lorraine, Preston says quietly, we need to talk. Now. Not now, Preston. The family lawyer's on his way. You need to figure out how you're going to pay back $240,000 before criminal charges get filed. Lorraine's face crumbles. I don't have it. Then you're going to lose the house. The car. Everything? Preston, please. I'm filing for divorce. His voice is flat. I'm not going down with you. Lorraine turns back to Simone, reaches for her. You believe me, don't you? You know I was just trying to help? Simone steps back. You destroyed my marriage, Mom. You made me think my husband was a liar for 3 months. You stole from our family and tried to blame him. Simone, I can't look at you right now. Lorraine's face twists. She looks at me. This is your fault. You poisoned her against me. I don't respond. Simone walks past her mother, stops next to me. Can we talk? Somewhere else? I nod. We leave Lorraine standing in the hallway. Outside, Simone leans against my car. She's shaking. I should have believed you. You didn't know. I should have asked. I should have. She looks at me. You tried to tell me, and I chose her over you. I don't say anything, because she's right. Can we fix this? She asks. I take a long breath. I don't know. Her face falls. Derek, you believed I was cheating for 3 months, Simone. You looked at me like I was a stranger. You never once asked me directly. You just believed her. She's my mother, and I'm your husband. The words hang between us. Simone wipes her eyes. So that's it? I need time. She nods slowly. Then she gets in her own car and drives away. Lorraine pleads guilty to fraud and forgery. 6 weeks later, she gets 3 years probation and full restitution. Preston divorces her. The family cuts her off completely. She moves into a small apartment across town and stops answering calls. I remove myself from the trust officially. Simone takes over as sole trustee with oversight from a third-party firm. The money gets repaid slowly, in installments, from the sale of Lorraine's assets. Simone and I sign separation papers in April. Not divorce. Separation. Her idea. I don't want to lose you. She tells me in the lawyer's office. But I don't know how to fix what she broke. Neither do I. We agree on 6 months. Space. Time to think. I move into a rental downtown. Smaller place. Quiet. Simone texts me 3 weeks later. I started therapy. I text back. That's good. Another week passes. I'm sorry. For all of it. I should have trusted you. I stare at the message for 10 minutes before responding. I know. We meet for coffee in May. She looks different. Lighter somehow. Like a weight's been lifted. I kept asking myself why I believed her so easily, Simone says. And I realized I was scared. Of what? That I wasn't enough. That you'd leave. That I'd end up like my mom. Married to someone who didn't really want to be there. She stirs her coffee. So when she started telling me you were pulling away, I believed it, because I was already afraid it was true. I wasn't pulling away. I know that now. She looks at me. My therapist says I let her control the narrative because I didn't trust my own instincts. I didn't trust us. I don't say anything for a moment. I was angry, I finally admit. Not just at her, at you. For not asking me. For choosing her version over mine. You had every right to be. But I get it now. She spent 3 months in your ear. Every single day. I can't imagine what that does to someone. Simone's eyes fill. I miss you. I miss you too. Can we try again? I reach across the table, take her hand. Yeah, but we do it different this time. No more secrets. No more letting other people in our heads. No more Lorraine. Definitely no more Lorraine. She laughs, and it's the first real laugh I've heard from her in months. We don't move back in together right away. We date, like we did before we got married. Dinners, movies, long conversations where we actually listen to each other. In August, she asks if I want to come home. I do. We're different now. Careful with each other in ways we weren't before. But careful isn't bad. Careful means we're paying attention. One morning, I'm making coffee. Simone wraps her arms around me from behind. Thank you, she says. For what? For not giving up on me. I turn around, kiss her forehead. You're worth fighting for, she smiles. And for the first time in a year, everything feels right.